Is all about what Jesus done for me. You know, about 20 odd years ago, I gave my life to the Lord. I had a very, very, very strong walk with the Lord. And to be honest with you, I thought I was one of them people who could never slide away. I was on fire for God. I knew the truth. You know, I'd done everything I was meant to do. I led people to the Lord, and I used to come down to these seminars. You know, I was on fire for God. I was just a young man, and I had a very, very bright future ahead of me. You know, but somewhere along the lines, you know, I slowly stopped reading my Bible. I slowly stopped praying. And then I got to the point where I didn't care if I wasn't reading my Bible, and I didn't care if I was praying or going to my meetings, and I just started to, you know, drift away from the Lord. And it didn't take long, but I fell into the deepest, darkest depression I think any human being could ever enter into. Like, I cannot explain or emphasize enough how low and how black my existence was. I've got a wife and 6 beautiful children. I've got a mother and father and brother and sisters who all love me. A very close family, but it meant nothing to me. You know, obviously I love my family, but none of them could bring me out of my depression. I would try my best and hide it. I would get up in the morning, I would go to work, I would do everything I was meant to do to look after them, but inside I was absolutely dying. You know, the only way I can explain it to you is it was like I was too much of a coward to die, but I didn't want to live anymore either. And then slowly I started getting involved in drink. And a long story short, one thing led to another. And every single night I drank myself to sleep for 10 years straight. I would get up in the morning, hungover, I would go out and earn a living, do what I could. But I would come back when my kids and my wife and that were all settled and the Waynes I thought was in bed. I would just crack open a bottle of vodka and I would drink it as fast as I possibly could until I passed out. And when I woke up the next morning, you know, it didn't matter how rough I felt or how low I felt, because I knew all I had to do was get to night time again and I would get my drink. And that went on, as I said, for 10 solid years. Every night. I couldn't go a night without it. And I started getting health issues. And, you know, another long story short, I ended up with cancer in the liver and cirrhosis. You know, I was facing death. I looked at my children and I looked at my wife, and I cannot explain to you the regret I had inside me, knowing that I completely wasted my life. I cannot emphasize the feeling. To look at your family and know that because you're such a scumbag, that you're going to die and your children is going to be left, you know, in this world without you. Your wife's going to be left without you. The torture and stuff I would put my family through. You know, but that was the very first time in a very long time that I felt the Lord speak to me. In the midst of all this going on in my mind, I felt the Lord speak to my heart. And there was this man that I seen preaching when I was about 14-year-old. And I felt the Lord speak directly into my heart, and he says, you have to go to this man's going to pray for you, and I'm going to heal you. So I managed to track down a phone number for this man, and as I said, I didn't even know if this man was still around. I didn't even know he could have been dead for all I knew. But I managed to get a phone number, I tracked him down and I phoned him. And the man agreed to meet me. The man stays in Ireland. So me and my brother, he's in here tonight, we booked a flight. And the same day, and we flied over to Ireland, and the man met me outside the airport in his car. I got in the back of his car, and the only way I can explain it is I felt like a newborn baby lying in my mother's arms. I felt that peace starting to come back into my life. The man prayed for me, and you know, the release I had inside me, I cannot explain to you. Well, see, when I woke up the next morning, that depression, that anxiety, that stuff that led me to the drinking, it has never ever returned. I was a brand new creation the next day. You know, I hear people tell me that Jesus is alive. No dead God can do these things for you. You know, and I had to go for some more tests. And a long story short again, I've never had as much as one paracetamol for my cancer. It's completely healed. I've never had depression ever again. I don't even remember what it felt like to be depressed. I've never had a drink. It will be 2 years this February. And it's like I've never drank before in my life. 20 odd members of my family has given their life to the Lord since then. You know, I've got a cousin in here tonight, and I never thought would be in here. You know, the Lord has done miracles in my life. But honest, see, the peace and the spiritual side of things doesn't compare to the physical things. You know, the comfort I have inside me, I cannot explain it. If you do not know Jesus as your Lord and Saviour, please listen. There's nothing too big for him. He's alive. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. Please, give your life to the Lord. You'll never look back. God bless you. Amen.